Imagine standing at the edge of a battlefield. The ground is cold beneath your feet. The air smells like iron and smoke. In moments, everything becomes chaos, steel, and death. Most men would panic, their hands would shake, their minds would race. But the samurai did something different. They got quiet. Not because they weren't afraid, because they had trained their minds just as ruthlessly as their bodies. And what they discovered about the human mind over 1,000 years ago is something modern science is only now beginning to understand. Welcome to the ancient mind. Every warrior throughout history faced the same enemy, not the man across the battlefield, the voice inside their own head. The ancient Japanese called it Kanten, inner chaos. That storm of fear and doubt that floods the mind when death becomes real. The samurai understood something profound. A warrior with a chaotic mind is already defeated before the first sword is drawn. So they spent centuries developing a system to solve it. So that system was Zen. The night before battle, a samurai performed a precise sequence of mental rituals that modern science would now classify as mindfulness and breathwork. The first was the death meditation. The samurai would sit in silence and visualize every possible way they could die in the coming battle. Not to frighten themselves, but to make peace with every outcome before it happened. By the time they walked onto the battlefield, death held no surprise. They had already met it, already accepted it. And in doing so, they freed their mind completely from fear. The second was Tanden breathing. Slow, deep breaths drawn into the lower abdomen, held briefly, then released completely. This deliberately activated what we now know as the parasympathetic nervous system, dropping heart rate and shifting the brain from panic into sharp, calm focus. All of these practices built toward one thing, a mental state called Mushin. Translated, it means no mind. But no mind is not empty mind. Mushin is the absence of attachment to thought. In Mushin, the warrior moves without thinking, responds without deciding, flows without effort. Athletes today call it being in the zone. Neuroscientists have found it corresponds to the prefrontal cortex going quiet, shutting down self-doubt and overthinking. The samurai figured this out 1,000 years before the brain scanner existed. They built repeatable practices to enter this state on demand before every battle. The samurai are gone. Their battlefields are silent. Their mental technology survives. In a world drowning in distraction and noise, the ancient warrior practice of silencing the mind has never been more relevant. Your battles may not involve a sword, but the enemy inside your head is just as real as any opponent a samurai ever faced. The ancient mind will be here every week pulling these forgotten secrets out of history. Subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and comment below telling me which ancient warrior civilization you want to explore next. The ancients are waiting.